One thing is certain in the landscape of the PA Woods Vivarium, and that's change. We've been focusing on the blooming rivalry between these American toads, the female Junia and the male Ananias II. We previously told the story of the female American toad Junia. Now we're going to focus on the story of Ananias, the male American toad, who is the up-and-coming patriarch of these lands. Our first encounter took place April 9th of 2024. On a rainy night, I was moving frogs and toads off of busy streets around woods and forests across western Pennsylvania, as I've done for the past 6 years for my conservation project called Frog Week, whenever I stumbled across an American toad who was dark-complected and dark-eyed. Thinking that the toad had an illness or injury, I brought it into captivity to later observe the animal. After I concluded there was nothing wrong with the animal, I accidentally kept it longer than I was hoping to, and as the state limit requires, after 30 days, the animal must be kept in captivity, meaning this was going to become an ambassador animal for the Woods and Forest Media YouTube channel. Because I have a state educator permit that allows me to keep 5 American toads, and I had not yet exceeded that, and I missed the window of 30 days to release him back to the wild, it was a no-brainer to welcome him into the family, and take a look at how he hunts for prey in the PA Woods Vivarium. I speculate this is how it might have been for him in the wild, as a dominant predator. As I've observed many American toads in captivity, I've never seen one quite as powerful, as strategic, and as patient, and not nearly as smooth as what this guy is. He's truly fun to watch in person, but it's amazing the highlight reel that he can put together for an episode like this. It's truly incredible to showcase his abilities. The most impressive part about Ananias is for 7 months he's never tried to escape and he's never looked stressed out, no matter what the situation was. It's incredible that a wild American toad could adjust so easily in captivity. Time to add another chapter into this dynamic rivalry. He doesn't take kindly to losing out on a meal. A scene like this is a prime example of how Ananias has maintained his grip over this ecosystem, not even backing down from a much larger and heavier adversary. It's scenes like this that showcase his personality. In July, the passing of Ace, the female matriarch who dominated this landscape, left a power vacuum, and ever since August, the opportunity presented itself to Ananias, and he's never looked back since. He's accomplished a feat only done once before him in the lore of the PA Woods Vivariums. Only one other male American toad was able to become a patriarch inside an ecosystem like this. But he lives in a much more competitive ecosystem, with his adversaries being up to the task, willing and able at any opportunity to dethrone him and claim the spot for themselves. He has to maintain his dominance, competing with the likes of Junia, who's challenging him at every step of the way. It's not going to be easy to maintain his lead over all of the other frogs and toads, but if there's anybody up for the task of maintaining the top spot and staying a patriarch, it has to be Ananias. It's time to put his talents on display again and remind everybody why he's the top animal in this ecosystem right now. That'll teach her. I've never seen an interaction like this between two American toads in captivity. To me, this showcases the dominance and aggressive behavior that Ananias has towards food. The coast is clear for Junia to get out of the water dish and back on land, and you would think that she would take off and try to get around Ananias, who just snapped at her. But like a true adversary, she runs right into him. This showcases, even though he can win the battle, the war is still far from over between these two toads. My top priority is the health and wellness of all of my pet frogs and toads. In the latest Great Tree Frog video, I coined the phrase Goldilocks range. This is where an animal is not starving and not obese. It's a range of weight where an animal remains its most active and healthiest. And that is what I follow for all of my frogs and toads. They go for monthly, if not weekly weighing, so that way I can make sure that they're neither starving nor obese. And you're seeing that for why Ananias was on the grand scale. But now that he's passed the test, it's time for another hunt. I couldn't think of a better way to conclude this episode than to feature my favorite scene with Ananias, and that's showcasing him utilizing the entire enclosure, going from one side to the other, and how he maneuvers so easily through the landscape. He makes it look easy, seamlessly maneuvering around the vegetation, all the branches, and rugged terrain, and it also showcases the stark difference between he and Junia, how she is brash and she doesn't seem to care until she gets to where she wants to go, whereas Ananias is calculated and strategic with his movements. Ever since I lost my female American toad Ace in July, I've been going through the grieving process, losing my best friend. Ananias has been paramount in helping me get through this time. I think back to that rainy night in April, how it must have been fate that brought us together, because without him, I'm not sure where I would be. But thankfully, I don't have to worry about that. And I'm beyond excited to tell the story of all the frogs, toads, and critters that call the PA Woods Vivarium home. But this has been the story of Ananias in the Woods Uncut. For more content on Ananias and all of the animals, be sure to like and subscribe and share for more content. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.